Hello, everyone. Welcome to David Talks. I'm David Lee Spells, and today I would like to talk to you about comic book based cartoons. Now, lately, X-Men '97 was a revival of the X-Men cartoon show. Sorry, that was popular back in the '97. They brought it back, and it seemed to be doing pretty good. And with this, you see a few cameos popping there. You saw, Peter Parker, Mary Jane, and Flash. I think you might have seen Spidey and Doctor Strange. Well, anyway, so here's the thing. Marvel, you got a gold mine. DC, I'm going to get to y'all in a minute. And Image, I'm going to get to y'all too. But here's the thing. Marvel, you got a gold mine. So what Marvel needs to do now, bring back the 90s Fantastic Four. With all the shows going, you still have cameos. Marvel and Disney, you got the rights to do what you want to do now. Cause back then you couldn't do that. Cause back then the Hulk couldn't appear in Spider-Man and all that. You hear him mentioned, but now now it's free reign now since Marvel you own all the rights. So here's the thing, Marvel. You got X-Men '97. Bring back the 90s Fantastic Four. Bring back Hulk 90s. Bring back the 90s Hulk. With the Gray Hulk and. Possibly, bring Professor Hulk in it. There's so much you guys can do. You got the means. So bring back Hulk '97. Because I'm sure there's a lot of unanalyzed stories y'all could have dealt with that. Bring back the 90s Fantastic Four. Y'all still got you still do the same format of animation, but you can bring as many characters as you want now. And which brings me to Malibu Comics. Ultra Force was come along by that time. Ultra Force was a pretty good hit. So Marvel, you got the rights to Malibu Comics. So bring that to life. Bring back the Ultra Force, and then same time with the Ultra Force, you can bring back the characters of the Malibu universe. You guys got so much to work with. Do it. So now that brings me to DC. You guys get on the board. Get on board and do it. Bring back the Batman. Bring back the Justice League. Bring back all that stuff y'all doing in the 90s and in the past years, beyond. Since DC bought the Wildstorm universe, bought Wildstorm Comics, work on the Wildstorm universe. Especially speaking of the Wildstorm universe, the Wildcats. Oh yeah, Wildcats. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Get on it, guys. Bring back the Wildcats, and then through that, bring through the Wildstorm universe, And that brings me to Image. With the Invincible TV series, you guys are doing great. So here's my thing. You got the Image universe. Bring all those characters from go back in the years when all these comic book companies were launching. Image was, you guys, you got a lot of stuff to work with too. Bring some of those characters through. Call it Image 90s. There's a way to do it, y'all. Of course, everybody gonna say, well, y'all trying to copy everybody. Don't worry about, what everybody gonna say. Everybody's trying to copy Marvel because you're all one big comic book world. Y'all out here, y'all bring entertainment to everybody. Just do it. As the critics say, hey, you're trying to copy one another, so be it. Let them talk. You guys are gonna be making the fans happy, and you're gonna make yourselves happy. So just get it done, guys. Get it done. And all in all, you all got comic book gold. And you're saying, what is comic book gold? Well, it's like this. You guys are sitting on gold mines and all these characters. That go for all you comic book companies. You're just not mining the gold. And you guys got comic book gold. Mine the gold. You all sitting on gold mines. Mine that gold. And Marvel, you got a plethora of characters. DC, you got a plethora of characters. Image, you got a plethora of characters. Use them. And that's another thing, which brings to this the whole money train thing. And all these companies are guilty of it. You go on, you keep milking the hardest seller. And then Marvel, as much as I love all you comic book companies, I love Marvel and DC. I grew up on you guys. And I love Image, and I love Wildstorm, and I love I love all you comic guys. But the thing is, you're all guilty of the money train thing. Especially Marvel DC, you get your biggest sellers and you keep milking and milking and milking and milking. And then you get into public fatigue. And there's nothing wrong with the money train thing. There's nothing wrong with the popular characters, but you got some of the other characters you work with you can bring to life. Work with that. Plenty of things you guys can do. And in another video, I'm gonna address the whole money train thing with the video game companies. But that's another subject for another episode. So all I'm saying, guys, this is no way to mean anything. 'Cause I love all you comic companies. Just think about what I said. Think about what I said. So with that being said, this is another episode of David Talks, and thank you all for your time. Have a good evening.